Good Monday evening, everybody. It is a beautiful, beautiful Monday here in Detroit. And I tell you what, we've got so much to go over here real quick. I'm Manny Vitale, host of My Fight Our War, co host of Music and Mayhem, and also my brother's keeper, a Bikers podcast. And we had an amazing, absolutely amazing weekend.
Yes, we
This
did.
has been in the works for quite a while, but for us, me and OG and Lori for the last about 11 months or so, about the Addiction Eviction rally in Athens, Alabama. And it finally came through. It happened this past Friday and Saturday. And it is something I will never forget. Let's get OG in here real quick. And
Hey, guys.
it was absolutely incredible.
Yes, it was.
Lori is before I pop her on here, because I know she's gonna, you know, try to interrupt and not take any of this, but she is absolutely amazing. From the minute we started talking over 11 months ago, there was something about her that just held my heart, and just her words and her authenticity and the love and caring and support and motivation that she has is so contagious, and it's real. It is all real. She had me at hello, and I couldn't wait to get to Athens, Alabama. And these past 11 months, when we got there, from the second we got there until the second we left, I have never felt so much love, community, family, support. And you know what? Lori, so humble that she always puts herself last. But what I seen, not only with my own eyes, but throughout that community, is the absolute love and respect that she has from everybody. Uh, she has taken on so much in life, just like we all do. But what she has taken on behind the scenes would be enough to make anybody
Crazy.
just quit and say, you know what, I need to maybe back off. It made her stronger. The amount of love and respect and admiration that I have for Lori, I cannot put into words. And she doesn't take any credit for it. She always gives credit to everyone else. She is a hero. She is my hero. She is a motivator, and she is full of love and support. And I'm so honored and proud to call her family.
Absolutely.
So, that being said, my family, Lori Masonia.
Oh,
Lori,
yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
how's it going?
it is going. And you know what? I got to pop OG out of here already. I just looked up
Yep.
at the screen. Oh, my
Donald
God.
Blow is on.
I,
Brad Peterson is on. Okay.
Lori. I just gave a little bit of feedback on this weekend. It was everything and more. You know, you are incredible. The Athens, Alabama, incredible.
Well, Manny, when we did the meet and greet on Friday, and I was like, the whole theme was Unite My People. And I believe Friday night set the tone for the event that
Yes.
happened on
Yes.
Saturday because, the bonding, the friendships, the fellowships. And then when I said, if you got unforgiveness, things for don't take the mic if you're not who you say you are. And look what happened. I mean, look what happened in that park on Saturday. I mean, I've had phone calls from all over the United States about, the one particular miracle that we all witnessed. And
Mhm.
um, I've spent a lot of time alone. I've been home by myself ever since late yesterday afternoon, and I just kind of had to let it sink in. You know what I mean? Because this is
Mm.
year 7. I can do these events in my sleep, but this one got me. And the way I feel is that the people that were sent, like you and OG and all TJ and Redeem, J Trick, all the people that came together to make up this team, um, to go out here and we always say if we can reach just one. I mean, look, there was a life saved there. There was a lot, literally. We saw someone come back from the dead. We saw, multiple people, get baptized. baptized. We've sent people to treatment. And it was like what came to me is, so you say you have this addiction ministry and all this training for all these years and been out here, feeding the homeless and transporting people hours away to rehab. But now let's see if y'all really know what you're doing. When you go on these podcasts and whatever your avenue to reach people is. And it was like God said, I'm gonna put you to test. And I believe everybody passed the test.
Oh,
We had OG, we had Cindy, we had Holy Drip, on the nursing, the medical side. We had the intercessors. We had the people that still wanted to go be baptized after they witnessed the woman coming back to life. It's like, oh, wow, that could have been me,
Mhm.
There were so many different angles to what happened over there on Saturday. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm just so thankful to be someone that can be trusted with a vision so heavy.
oh man.
A lot of
Well,
work, months and
I,
months of work
I
went in.
it's so much behind the scenes that you did, and there's so much to cover on this, just bits and pieces. But like you said about the people who were saved, the whole point of this, to talk, to let people know, to get rid of that stigma, man, not to sweep addiction under the carpet, man, that it's okay to talk about addiction, that we need to talk about it, because by talking about and sharing our stories, we can save lives. And that's what happened. But it went so much further than that, because what literally happened was, as we all saw, someone OD'd.
Mhm.
Someone literally took their last breath and their last heartbeat right in front of all of us. And by the grace of God, that person was brought back. That, besides all the messages, testimonies, and stories that were shared, that could, yes, spark people's attention, what we witnessed that day, it was so profound, because I had a few people. I had this amazing young man, Ethan, come up to me afterwards. And this was just one of a few, came up to me and he was almost in tears, man. And he goes, Manny, that scared the hell out of me. He was with his mom and dad and sisters and brothers. And he said, that really just hit some triggers for me.
Mhm.
And that switched gears for me, because now I'm like, okay, now this is about you. The girl's okay. Thank God. Now we've got people, Phyllis, we've got these other people. I can't remember, it was Melissa or whoever it was, who just lost people. Now this just opened up that wound.
Yep.
And, now we got to make sure that everyone's okay. And that could have, like I told Ethan, that could have, how many times did you take that bullet, that Russian roulette, man? Could have been you. Now you saw firsthand what could happen. And you talk about lessons learned, and how everyone in that event, everyone underneath that pavilion came together. And with the man upstairs, I mean, lesson learned. It was amazing, Lori, like you said, absolutely amazing.
It was, and what better place for a person in active addiction to be than that a spirit
Mhm.
filled event, to come drunk, high, whatever your situation is, and not be judged. You know what I mean? So many people, that you met my friend that, I told you I had been working with him for almost 4 years. He was alcoholic, and I went over there and told him, I got all day. I'm going to sit you, go take a shower. You're going to fix yourself something to eat. And like, he thought I was crazy. He said, you're not afraid of me? And I was like, no, because his parents had reached out, to me. And he said I was better than any paid counselor he ever. What it was is, like, I lost my dad, to alcohol. I hate alcohol. And so, for all these years, he supports every event that I have, every event. But when he came over there, and he wasn't a believer, and Saturday, when he took my hand, he goes, I want you to baptize me. I lost it. I He went in there, and he had been drinking, I could smell it, but he survived a car wreck, where he should have died about 6 months ago. Um, and I said, what do you think saved your life? The president, you know? what there's a higher power. What do you think it is? And he went in, and I don't think y'all saw the picture. He came up out of that water, and he looked like something out of a fashion magazine.
Ah,
I love that guy. I'm so thankful. I told him I will not leave you. I will walk this journey with you. It's baby steps. It don't mean you're going to quit drinking today. Some people can, some people can't. I said, but we'll do this thing together. And I mean that. I really mean that. We don't just go out here and try to I don't even keep like a list of people that we take to rehab. I have no files. None of that matters to me. What matters is that we save that life.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. It's just and you nailed it too. Because some people saw the live I did afterwards. And it was very emotional for everyone. It hit us all. But I had to be very careful the way I worded things with respect towards everyone involved. And I had some people contact me, and of course, there's assholes everywhere. And a couple of them were like, "Yeah, you talk about disrespect. What kind of person would do that?" I'm like, someone who is reaching out for help.
mhm.
Why? That's why we were there. We weren't, we're there for everybody. We're
yeah.
not there just for the people with these success stories. I've been sober for 20 years. Hey, fantastic. And yeah, I'm going to cherish, I'm going to put you and I'm going to support you and motivate you. But this person here who did that at the event, you talk about a cry for help. So no, we're not going to disrespect you. We're not going to judge you. And when I started my Fight Our War, first thing I said is, you don't see any diplomas on my wall. What you see is a scar and a plate in my face where I've been shot and stabbed. I'm one of you. I'm not going to stand the judgment of anybody. And so, yeah, I mean, you come to that rally, and that's the way it should be. We're here to take you as you are, and to support you. And baby steps, man, baby steps. Yeah,
Well,
it's just
if you've got it all figured out, then you don't need my help. You know what I mean?
exactly.
If you
You
got it figured out, I'm happy for you. But there's a lot of people out there that say they got it figured out, and I moved on, and I've been called to do, this and have this ministry, or be this, and they're the ones that end up falling. You know what I mean? And those people fall hard, and we're here for the people that say, hey, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I need some help. And
mm,
Manny, you saw it. OG saw it when that little storm came and that speaker blew. Y'all saw I sat over there in the corner to myself. I do that every year. I sit by myself,
mhm.
and it was like something said, "Go sit by that lady," till they get all this fixed. And I did, and I was like, "Ma'am, are you okay?" She said, "I need to get to rehab, and I need my children." And I said, "Well, take my hand." And when she did, yeah, I was like, "Well, this ain't good," And then
Mm.
drip. I don't know how he ended up standing next to me, but I started praying for her and calling on the directors of the recovery homes and my pastor's wife. And she went down, and everybody thought that that the demon was coming out or whatever, but she was gone. I mean, there was no
She's
pulse.
OD.
And I just thank God for Narcan. I can't encourage people enough. And the
Mhm.
lesson I took away from the whole was oh, I got it in my car. It's in my car. Well, I'm going to keep it in my pocket. I'm going to have a little bag, something on me somewhere where I have a thing of Narcan concealed at all times. And we
Yeah.
saw that seconds made a difference.
Mhm. Mhm.
Seconds do,
Sure
man.
does.
And everyone was there. And it's just, and just what I want to do here too, is while we're chit chatting, is just go through here and acknowledge some of the people who are watching with us here. And one of them is someone who is dear to, I mean, all of them are, but uh, someone who really made a difference in our lives, Lori, and that is my man here, Donald Blow, who was a guest on our show here, and
Oh,
we all saw Donald's show, give his
yeah.
story, and you nailed it, man. You when he first started talking in the beginning of the show, you could see the pain, you could see
Mhm.
everything he was going through, but
Dude,
as he started
God
talking,
did this. He just opened up like a blooming flower.
It
So
was beautiful. And at the end, you nailed it. You go, it was great. So, Donald, thank you, man. And then, of course, our brother Brad Peterson, man, thank you.
Couple people from Athens.
Donald,
We got Caleb Hammond,
Caleb Hammond.
Christy Stutz,
Yes, we've got
Jeanette Butler.
Christy. Hey, Manny. Hey, Christy. Hey. And where'd Caleb go? There's Caleb.
he is a
Then we
man.
have- then we have our
Caleb,
other
my
Caleb.
man, my
Mhm.
brother Caleb. What's up, family? Hope all is well. Love and respect all, and right back at you, my brother. It was such an honor and a privilege to be with my new family, my Athens, Alabama family. Caleb, all you guys, Christy, Stephanie, B, all of you, man. It is,
Mhm.
and then Christy here. Thank you, Lori. Um,
I love you, girl. I love you.
I'm telling you, love you. Let's see here. Love you. You are such an amazing person. Christy, I agree. I agree. Randy Powers is in the house. We had okay, Randy said we had planned on being there, but my work schedule changed. Gotcha, Randy. I tell you what, next year, it was amazing. Jeanette is here. Love y'all. Kids said, hey, love you.
Right there. I love her.
That's Jeanette, and thank you guys so much for popping on with us. My brother M2 the Rock, man. Seek the invisible, the visible, not the visible. I'm sorry. Prayer invites heaven to earth. Thank you, M2 the Rock. I am looking forward to chatting with you more, my brother. Wait, where'd
You got
Carrie?
Carrie and JD.
Carrie,
and
JD, and I were so glad.
He was just talking about JD in the backstage before we came on.
It was such, like I said, meeting everybody. Everyone was so kind. I didn't feel like that's this new guy from Detroit at all. It was just a member of the family. Jeanette, our new family. That's just it, just
Family's growing.
You know, I got to give everybody a shout out though, because when they think of the rally, yeah, I'm the founder of the ministry, but teamwork makes the dream work. And JD, Caleb, Randall, my grandson, Caleb, I mean, all of the guys that came together, Shane Butler, Janetta's husband.
Oh yeah.
Go tent up. The city made them move it. That was a big tent. That white.
Yes, it was.
They were out there. It rained on them while they were trying to put it up, and it was like then bam, they took everything down, and someone had sowed us some seeds into the ministry, and I just was like, hey, let's just take them all out to eat, because that's the least. That is the very least, just to say I love you guys. I could not. That event would not have even been half of what it was if my circle of people. We're called the Cave. We met at my house for 8 months on Saturday nights, and we are family. We are tight, and without them, there would have been no way I could have.
And that's just how it is too, man. And that's why I when I first started this whole social media circus that I jumped into, I'm thinking, oh, this is great, man. Everyone in this social media world loves everybody. Everyone supports everybody. And it didn't take long to, figure out life is life, no matter what platform you're on. But then when you meet the ones who are true to heart, yourself and everyone else you just mentioned, the one thing that I always said about My Fight Our War is what you see is what you get. This has never been about me. This has never been an I and a me. This has always been an us and a we. And that us and we extends to everybody. And look who we got, Lori. JD. Thank you for dinner. And Manny, I love you, brother. I love you, man. It was such a great atmosphere. That was a great idea, Lori, for Friday, and it carried over to Saturday. It just set the tone.
Like the food, let them know you got Stubbs burger, your chocolate pie, and your Southern cookie. There's nothing about the Southern food. I'm insulted.
I am so full. I am so
He's still
full.
full.
I am. I swear to God. That's all I've been talking about. With like I said, I got to spend the day with my mom today, and
Mhm.
I said the food was so damn good. The chicken, the Dubs. There we're
Was
back. We're back again.
Oh,
But
okay.
green? Did you ever had greens before?
first time,
Well,
and it was so good. And I actually, with everything that was going on Saturday, when I got done speaking, I actually forgot about the Dubs burger. And then when you started to talk and you
Yeah.
said you brought it up, I looked over and all I saw was that bag. It was like, hello. And Jacqueline, who is on here, Jacqueline, was asking, she goes, well, all this talk about the Dubs burger. I said, well,
It was
it
good.
goes like this. I
hot
saw the bag. I grabbed the bag.
pepper.
It made it from the front. It made it to the back
And that
table.
was
As
it.
soon as I sat down, bag open, burger's gone. It was like that. It was so good. Thank you so much.
Well,
Man.
you, um, and, on a more serious note, after that incident, the miracle that we witnessed, I just felt the appropriate thing to do was stop the rally at that point. What more can you do after you witness something like that?
Correct.
That Keith Phrase and Purcell, they didn't get to give their testimony, and they were fine with that. Keith gave his at church yesterday, but um, you know, there's a family that was supposed to be in our guest for the memorial, and they were supposed to be giving the story because for justice for Hawk, a young man who died of a fentanyl overdose, and they need closure, and they need justice, and so I apologized to his family because I didn't even know that they were there. But they were, but it wasn't time, for the memorial anyway when all of this happened. And I said, I'm so sorry. I said, we will do another event. I will make sure, that we honor him. We're going to get his message out there. And she said to me, she even put it on her Facebook. She said, I saw more God under a pavilion in Athens, Alabama today than I've ever seen in a church. And she told me, she said, what helped me, now this is what she said to me in person, is how fast that lady hit the floor and turned blue, gave her peace in knowing that her brother did not suffer, because
Mhm.
blink of an eye, that stuff will take you out.
Mhm.
And so I had the carnation, so I went ahead and was able to give the lady, the family, their flowers and all that. And Cynthia Simmons, Cynthia Bates, the moms who had lost sons, I had flowers for all of them. And so if any of y'all are on here, I apologize, but I mean, out of respect and for everything that happened, it was the right thing to do. In my heart, I know I did the right thing by stopping the rally,
Oh,
because the
th-
fellowship didn't stop. People still wanting to get baptized. Baptized. I sound like a
they were baptized.
baptized,
It's a
but
Southern thing.
That's when
it's
you dunk twice.
thinking that could have been me. And I have to give a shout out to our work release guys,
Yes.
there and worked like crazy, with the hot dogs, giving out the food and the cleanup. Those guys were amazing. And, one of them got baptized. It was amazing. I got to actually take them to church yesterday, and they got to help do the cleanup and unload the trailer and, all of that. And, just because people are in jail doesn't make them bad people. It's people who just got caught making a bad choice, where a lot of people just never got caught.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And
So,
Lori, that's another thing with Lori. I was on the phone with her Saturday before the event, and we were talking. And of course, it's like an hour or two before the event. She's busy. We're trying to get things going. I'm on the phone with her, and she's like, "Listen, I got to go. I got to help unload these chairs from the van, and then I got to go pick up my inmates." And I was just like, "What?" I mean, okay, it's just something. I got to go pick up my inmates, and these guys were incredible. They busted their butts Friday night, Saturday night, And it was so great to be able to have a meal with them Saturday too, and just share. It was, like I said, it was a weekend I'll never forget. I mean, and it hit us all different ways.
I want to share this. This is incredible. So after church yesterday, um, I, man, I know these guys are thirsty. They were going to go with the people from the DAV and do some work for them. And I was like, I need to stop and get them something to drink, maybe a cookie or something, because they had a meal already for them. But they just need, I said, but I can't stop at these gas stations on the corner because that's where, they, did a lot of their stuff, that got them in this situation, incarceration. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to this one grocery store. And I never, ever, ever go to this store. And I pulled up in there. So three of them got out with my grandson and went in there to get them something to drink and some cookies. Well, one of the guys stayed in the van with me, and he was like, Miss Lori, I just really don't want anything right now. And let me tell you what happened. This big old guy is probably like 6'2". And he goes, Miss Lori, there goes my mama. There goes my mama. His
I forgot to
Oh,
tell you.
got incarcerated, right? Hasn't seen his mom, and jumps out and is sprinting across the parking lot with his big tall suit. Mama. And she's a little bitty lady in her little church dress, and she's going, son. And they
ah,
embraced each other. And I'm sitting in the van crying, ugly crying like a little baby. The most beautiful thing I had ever seen in my life. There again, it was a divine appointment. Everything this weekend was intentional. It
Oh,
was so intentional. It
with
it wasn't our plan. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't even have words, y'all, for what this weekend meant to me. I just don't have them.
it was truly, I mean, magical is not the right word. It was definitely a blessing, but and like you said, the things that happened, the way it happened, how it happened, everything.
It's like
Um,
supernatural. It was
it,
supernatural.
I sat there a couple times. It was so great just from the second we walked in, as we were just literally walked in to get a table. While we were doing that, before we even got anything out, people were coming up that recognized us from the show and from the different things, just coming up. It was instant, just talking, bonding. Um, Different parts of different shows that impacted their lives, and I just sat there and just the interaction was so real. And then as the whole day went on, I mean, people were coming up, meeting brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers and all that, and then just watching everyone and just how much love was in that place. That was so overwhelming. And actually there's a picture I saw, and there was a video as well going across. And there's me. I'm just sitting there leaning back. I was me, Redeemed, and Jay Truth were over by. They were up front, and I was talking to Redeemed, and he turned around, and I was just leaning against, and I was just staring, and I just got this look on my face, just taking everything in, just the amount of love and support that was in that area, that pavilion was, you could feel it. I mean, without even saying a word, man. And then just the look, people would sit there, and of course we're all talking, but then people, they just come up and look at you with this smile, not even say anything. And it was just like, you go, yep, yeah, we got it. It was great.
I was on the phone with Carrie when y'all came out of the airport, and she's like, "Girl, that squeal you let out when you saw Manny." She guess it was like a little kid in a candy shop. Um, it's kind of like the anticipation of meeting someone for all of these months, and then bam, there y'all are. Like I get to see y'all, I got to hug y'all, I got to spend. We had more time, but there will be more days in the future that we get to spend
mhm,
together.
Oh,
mhm.
I called it Manny Mania because already knew about y'all, that y'all are coming, and we've been promoting it for so long. And what really touched my heart is when we went to dinner on Saturday night and Redeemed, like, that he is amazing. Him and Jay
mhm.
Tree both, Redeemed was at dinner with us. And he said last year, someone spoke something over his life, and he left the rally and went back and quit his job, making six.
Mm-hmm.
And he may have told you this story, but he said it was the best thing he ever did for his family. And he said because of what happened to him at my rally, as long as there was a rally, he would be here. Do you know how humbling that is?
Wow.
You know, do anything for him. The Lord did. You know,
Mhm.
that guy, you know, they're both of them. They're fun. Like it's just amazing. It's amazing. It's the people that's supposed to be here, and it's hard when there's people that are not there for the right reason, and you have to tell them, "I'm sorry, but you know, you're not in the vision this time." You know what I mean? That's hard to do.
It
But
is.
have real people with true hearts for broken people who are not for profit. You know what I mean? Who
And
care less about the money. You know, it's not about money. You know, it's about making sure that that person, number one, takes their next breath and that they get their help that they need. And so I was like, Lord, just let me take a couple of weeks because it's crazy how automatically I started thinking about next year, and I'm like, I take a little vacation. I'm actually
Really?
come to Detroit for a couple of days in July,
Mhm. Oh yeah.
and then we're gonna see, you know, where we go from here because it's not my way. I have to take from the man upstairs, you know. But I tell you, whatever it is, it will include the JD's, Carrie's, Caleb's, Janetta. You know what I mean? So don't expect to see me and not see my family, you know?
Oh my God. It's just all for one, one for all, man.
Yeah.
And just sitting there, like I said, talking with everybody, and just everybody brought what they had. Everyone brought themselves. They weren't bringing some bullshit. They weren't, and like you said, be real or don't be here. And with me, from day one with me, I've always said that, hey, I may not be for everybody. And I'm not, I'll never be sugarcoating stuff. Um, but you'll never sit there hear me talk about send me money, send me money.
Mm-mm.
You'll hear, and one thing I did learn about this social life world that I jumped into is I'm not down, getting down on anyone who does it because this is a business. I mean, when me and OG are flying around, man, I mean,
Mhm.
we pay for everything and
Y'all,
to get.
because I'm so blunt and so transparent. So, you know, it was like the Lord said, take everybody out to eat. I didn't know how many people was going to come because in the beginning, I knew that it was going to be me, you, and OG, you know, and my grand.
Mhm.
And,
I went from 3 to
but,
25.
you know, invite this one, invite this one, invite everybody that helped, invite them, invite them, invite them. So, you know, what we had probably close to 30 people at that
Mhm.
table.
Mhm.
So, y'all know I'm not about money. I don't have money. I'm raising my grandkids, but what I have is yours. You know, I'm a very blessed woman. Um, money does not define me. And when that waiter or waitress said, how many checks will this be? It was like this voice just, you know, and I was like, what did I just do? you know, I saw, but when she brought the receipt, it went around and around and around. And I got home, held up the receipt, and it was as tall as I am. And God is so good. We had money to pay that and money left over.
I tell you what, it was a
And
room.
the way that look what I did, I'm saying look what he did.
Oh, exactly.
Because who would I have been for the people that sewed into those little buckets that were sitting around for donations? What kind of person would I have been not to share that with the people that made it happen and for us to sit down and, you know, take time to exhale, to laugh? Yvette jumps up in the chair and then just, hey, my name is Yvette, you know, and
Oh yeah.
and then y'all saw me drive the van up on the curb because I wasn't, don't know if you were there, Manny, you and OG.
Oh,
But I drove the van up on the curb. I was so tired. I
oh,
came passed out.
I tell you, that walking into the restaurant, that feeling that you started it Friday when we started with that meet and greet
Mhm.
Friday, that was perfect, man, because it just went from that moment, set the tone. It was such a positive um, just atmosphere right from the get-go, and that carried right on to Saturday during the event, and then afterwards, like you said, sharing, breaking bread together, and just all of us kind of looking at each other. And again, there was so much said between us at times without even saying a word, because there were times I'd sit there and I looked down at the table at people that 2 days ago were complete strangers,
Mhm.
didn't know them, didn't know anything about them, and now I'm sitting at this table breaking bread with my family. And I get I've been known to tear up quite a bit and during shows, and I've been
Mhm.
known to go off on a little bit as well. So I'll give you a little bit of both, trust me. But yeah, I don't mind sitting there shedding tears. And when I was looking up and down those chairs and seeing my Athens, Alabama family, and just hearing the stories and just hearing the genuine love that was there, it was phenomenal. And
Well,
I
so
can't wait till next year.
the takeaway is we were blessed with a building for free to have the meet and greet, and I've been told we can use it anytime. We have another building because I'm the chaplain for another organization here.
That's right.
That's if y'all decide to come back down here and want to do a podcast, we have a building, that we can use for free anytime, because I am a part of that organization now. And it like 6 months ago, I would have said, "Are you serious? Me, a chaplain?" But don't ever underestimate yourself or how you can be used, because and by my saying yes, it has opened doors that I would have never been able to pull up to the sheriff's department and get inmates and take them
Yeah.
to it's
I
just
love that.
sense. Make it make sense. But so I'm going to ask you, Manny and OG, what was your takeaway? What did you take from the rap?
Man, what I took away was when you put true faith and love and family and the people with the same mindset together in one space, there is nothing that's impossible. Nothing is impossible. You can take someone who took their last breath and bring that person back to life when you have faith and you have people that you believe in and they believe in you. From the minute I met you, from the minute I met that first person on Friday night, the meet and greet, until the event ended, I've met family. And the conversations I had with each and every one of you and each and every one of them really touched my heart in such a strong way that I knew that that weekend there was nothing that I couldn't do. And move mountains. I've got the Athens, Alabama family. We can move more in mountains, and we did. We saved a life.
And for me as a person, and for me as a mother, and I get a little emotional, but that's just me. Okay, I put so much into it, and I couldn't save my own daughter, from self destruction, even though she's still alive and she's out there doing her. I think she's doing okay. I think she's clean. Um, she's not incarcerated. And then I have a son, who's never done a drug in his life, who has other issues. Um, and it's like we can go and we can save. So I'm saying this to any parent who has a child that they have a strange relationship with, no matter what kind of addiction it is, because addiction is so many different things. The love of money, um, abandonment. Since my kid's father died a year ago in December, like my son went off the rail. He really did. But we can go out here and be somebody's hero, and we can't save our own families. But I know this. I know that if we keep doing and walking in our purpose and going out there and try to help somebody else, that the Lord will put somebody in the path of our families that can help them, because they always rebel against the ones you love the most, and that really hurts. It really hurts, and so that was really my takeaway, is to see this weekend, you know how can someone not forgive? How can mothers and daughters and mothers and sons or fathers and daughters and whatever the situation, how can you live each day with hatred in your heart? Because y'all, we just witnessed how fast you can be out of here, you know?
Mhm.
That
And
is
I
so true.
scoop my adult kids up like they were little babies and say, "You don't know how much I love you," because I do. And these people that, like this lady, that's on her way to detox today. She's got 4 children and a grandbaby on the way. You know, but I always remember something my daughter told me. She said, "Mom, my addiction loves me more than I could ever love anybody." And then I go back to your show and I think of addiction's just a word.
Hmm.
Addiction is just a
Addiction
word.
is just a word.
And
Uh,
so we're not going to let it define anybody. We're not going to let it define our children. We're going to believe, that in when it's time, God's going to do what He's going to do, and what we got to do is. There's no better way I could have said it, Manny, than that lady that was on the ground. It was her fight, but it was our war.
Yes.
She couldn't fight anymore. That lady couldn't fight anymore, but we went to war for her. We went to war for her with the medical team, the prayer warriors, the EMTs, everybody that was involved. That was our war, Manny.
oh
And
yeah.
so so much respect for you and OG and just the title of what you do, My Fight, Our War, because it truly gave me a whole new perspective of the name of your podcast and your purpose. I don't even like to call it your podcast. It's your purpose.
Oh, and that's what it was. And this came to me, and here it is. This is the actual paper that 2 years ago. That's a wolf, but this is the actual paper that when I got up and then walked into the kitchen and I decided I was going to do this. I go, I need a name. And in less than 10 minutes, this is the actual paper. I wrote My Fight, Our War. And I just looked up. I was so lost. I was like, what? Well, I don't know what this means. And then all of a sudden I heard the voice. It said, My Fight. I heard it heroin, meth, alcohol, marijuana, all these different things. My fight. That's everyone's fight. Our war is addiction, and it made sense. We all have our own fight separately, but we all come together, our own battles. But when it comes to
Right.
war, our war is addiction. Oh, and that's what we do. And one other thing that you were saying too about saving our own is like for me, there's times where I deal with survivor's remorse. When I told that story about Jerry, my brother, who I climbed
Mhm.
into his bed and Jerry died in my arms. His last words he said were, I love you, brother. And I looked at my friends as I held him in my arms and I said, what a terrible way to die. And
Mhm.
here, 11 years later, I'm laying in that bed. Yellows can be told you're going to be dead in 6 weeks. Why am I still here? Shot in the face, stabbed in the face, sepsis, my appendix burst, all that. Why am I alive? Why am I alive? A purpose. So instead of the survivor's remorse now, I still get it. I'm human, man. But now I put that anger in a positive way, and it's to put it into something. My Fight or War, Ride with Me, Addiction Support, all the other amazing families. We all got different names, just like extended families, but we're all one family.
Mhm.
We are, and man, how God brought it all together. It's like a bunch of people that escaped the mental hospital going to the World Series. If you ever saw that movie, The Dream Team,
Yes.
load us up, give us the ones nobody else wants. With us, the ones we want. And I just, my heart is so full. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. Like I said, I've really struggled with even going on and doing it. I did a little short live, just thanking everybody. But how can you go on and describe, what you just had to be there? And I see Donald Blow on there. I can't meet Donald Blow. I'm going to meet Donald Blow. He's going to be here next year. He says, I don't have the best relationship with my son, but I keep showing up. How awesome. He got on that plane and he flew down there for his son's graduation.
Mhm.
Yep.
And the thing is like I'm sure I probably wasn't the greatest parent, but I did the best I could with what I had to work with and what I knew at that time, Um, and just, my input would be stay encouraged. And if you ever, any of y'all ever feel like you're defeated, reach out to me, call me. I don't have a husband. I'm raising grandkids. I'm not my family, like I'm the black sheep because you don't talk about it, and you don't pray for the ones that's incarcerated. You don't do none of that at our family functions. And so call me anytime. You'll reach out to Manny, any of the people. I'm sure the comments here would be more than happy to just be a listener, because sometimes that's what people need.
Yep.
You know, like he says, all you can do is try, do your best, and leave it right there. You know.
Yep. Yeah, you don't need to. I've had people over this time doing this. They'll ask me, Maddie, what do I do? What do I say? You know what? Just be there. Don't look for all the right answers because you'll never have them.
You know what? I've
Just
always
just
believed
listen.
in word. Like Manny, I've told you I love you, Manny. Manny, I love you, but I wanted to show you that I love you. You know, I wanted to meet you at the airport. I wanted to make your hotel room, you and OG, and see.
Mhm.
I wanted to make sure that you ate good while you was here. People can tell you they love you all day long, and a lot of people use that word very literally. And so I might not tell you that I love you, but I'm going to show you that I love you.
Well, you are you truly. And here's just proof of that too. This is from Danny Gibson. Lori, you're amazing. Thank you for all you have done. Continue to do for others. Thank you. That's for my brother Danny Gibson and his beautiful wife Katie.
Oh,
Oh, we
all the glory goes to the Father. I'm just a vessel. Uh, some I'm someone who was going to take my own life. Y'all have heard my story. I've told it on your show a couple of times, but I know what it's like to lay your head down on the pillow at night and not want to wake up and cry till you have no more tears and you have nobody calling to check on you, or you have nobody to call and talk to. I know what that's like, and I will never let that happen to anybody. Not on my watch. You know what I mean? But I tell you what, I'm not going to do is, when there are places that is willing to take someone into sober living, help them get a job, help them get on their feet, and they turn it, and this happened this weekend, and they turn that down. I'm not paying for a hotel room. I'm not. Because then who's going to pay it the next night? And then who's going to pay it the next night? You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
people may have their own opinions on that, and to each his own. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, you don't need a hotel room. You need a place to get your mind reset. People
Hmm.
will help you get a job. People that'll love on you, where you ain't got to. There's faith-based programs everywhere. We get people to. It don't cost any money. People say, well, I'll get them a hotel room for tonight. You know, that's just not the answer.
No, and that's just a quick fix. You know what? And I found out because I've had to run in with a few people like that as well. And the people who bark the most about you should have done this, you should have done that, are people who do the least, but they want the most attention on themselves. Look what I did, and you really didn't do shit. Okay, you got somebody a hotel room just so you could tell everyone what you did. Did you reach out after that? Did you see
Yeah.
if they got continued care? Did they get to detox? Did they do this? Well, I got them a room. You put a band-aid on a surgical wound, and you did it for your own self gratification to look what I did. That's not what
Yeah.
we do.
The thing is, did you go in and make sure they got a shower? Did you make sure they had clean underwear to put on? You know what I mean? A fresh set of clothes for the next
Yeah.
day. Not, drop them off. And this situation that we dealt with this weekend, I told the girl, I said, this person got you this room because I had already made arrangements to get her somewhere, and she didn't want that. I said, but once you get in that room, what you do is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we
And
know the dope game. We know how it goes. And
oh yeah.
but what love is like, we know not everybody's ready for help, but we got to meet people right where they are. We got to meet them right where they are. And a prime example is, this was a banging event this weekend. We had people come up there drunk. We had people come up there high. We had people come, multiple recovery homes, multiple resources. It didn't matter if you cussed. We don't care. Just get that. We're not going to judge you because you cussed. Are you seeing differently than I do? You know, I, I just get so tore out the frame about that. Well, they said, shit, or they said, well, so what? You know,
Well,
so what?
yeah,
So what?
that I tell you, like I said with me, boy, I'm not going to apologize for anything about me because last I checked, he made me. You got a problem with me? Talk to him. You know
Yeah,
what? He's the one that was there when I got shot in the face, stabbed in the face.
Mhm.
He's the one that when my appendix blew and I got sepsis. He's the one when my pancreas, kidneys, and liver shut down and that brought me back to life. So he made me, a fighter to come back the way that he made me. So he's the only one that I'm accountable for. And I'm going to fight the way that I know. And, I said day one, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm not. Just like I will never disrespect anyone's way for the way they present how they believe in recovery and all that. Hey, I'll back you 100%. I'll support you 100%. Doesn't mean I might agree with everything, but I'm never going to call you out and stuff, but that being said, just like you said about the room, no, don't sit there and put yourself on a pedestal because you gave someone who's doing drugs a free room for the night when the door's shut to do whatever the hell they want.
Mhm.
I mean, and then, look at me, look what I did. No, do what
yeah.
Lori
This
did.
says to me today. They're like, there were so many things that was wrong with the rally. And I was like, oh, really? So now it's about you. And well, I thought you should at least let me give my testimony. Really? Really? First of all, I don't even pick who does it. I pray and God sends, y'all are sent here. God said, ask them to come. He tells you, I never met Pastor Anthony Torres, who came from New Mexico. He didn't even speak because things got so crazy up in there. And that's the humble people, that's like, hey, what's going on right now? We don't even need nobody speaking right now because there are things taking place in there that people only dream of happening. And I am excited for the next chapter, and I pray that everybody that was a part of it this time will be in the next chapter, and that I get to travel around and come to some of y'all's events and meet some of these wonderful people in your family. And I'm just excited, like I'm just overjoyed. I'm probably not going to settle down for a couple of days, to be honest with you.
No, you've got, the love and support that you have for people is just, it's so contagious and it's so welcome and so needed in this negative world that we live in, especially when you get people who judge others who absolutely have no clue. The ones who judge the most and speak the harshest about people in addiction are
Mm.
ones that have no clue about addiction. They're
Or
ones who are sitting.
themselves behind doors.
Oh, yeah, or they're the ones who are sitting there, you know, shooting up or drinking and doing all these other things. Yeah, like you said, behind closed doors, and it's not a problem, until it is a problem. But excuse me, but yeah, it's this is something like you said. What did I take away from that, man? What didn't I take away from this rally? But I tell you, the one thing I did take away is the sense of family, love, community, and faith in Athens, Alabama. And it's just an honor to be part of your family, our family, and everybody. And I can't wait till July now. We got another
Yeah.
few weeks away.
I may come up there and spend my birthday up there for a couple days. And I have a place in Michigan that is very dear to my heart, and I could get a car. I don't know how far it would be from Detroit, but it's called Miller Lake. It's up above Flint. Uh,
Okay, it's not far. It's
up
not too
there,
far.
we have paddle boats. It's so beautiful up there. And so I would like to do that. And then I might not do that at all, but what I really want to do is come and walk through the streets of downtown Detroit, handing out water. And it's just, that's something I feel that I need to do.
Well, then you know what? We're gonna make it happen. It's
I see
just
Dan says he has an important question for you, Manny.
what's that?
Dan Gibson has a to ask a very important question.
But he didn't write it down.
He didn't write it down. Where is it? Danny, where is it?
I don't think
Let's see. The last one I got from Danny is "You're amazing." From Lori, unless Donald Blow, Felicity, Jeanette.
anyone heard from Stephanie.
Oh
I
wait,
did
here's
that
here.
yesterday.
Has anyone? No. We actually haven't, Danny. There's a couple people that we haven't heard from. Sunshine and Stephanie. Hope all is well with you guys. We haven't heard anything. I know that unfortunately she had a death in her family, and there were some issues with that as well. Definitely sent a lot of love and prayers as we did the whole time. So going to just continue to send love and support to everybody. And but yeah, and Donald, we've reached out and people have asked and haven't heard anything in return. So all I was gonna do is pray. I don't know if anyone else has heard something or not.
No, when it's the right time, she'll reach out.
And I know that we were originally planned on.
Period. Because she and I had actually planned to go up and help her with the baby for a couple of days. And but after her mom's death, there was some issues, some family issues there. Plus, she had the newborn baby, and
Mhm.
so then she just went off social media, and we talked through Messenger. So I never actually had her phone number. But I'm going to keep trying to
Oh,
find out.
okay. And Dan Gibson said that Sunshine's doing amazing. We talked to her here and there, so give her our best. I know that there was chit chat about doing things, and I know that there was an event going on in Vancouver, Washington, that we were supposed to be doing some stuff at, but there was no feedback on that, and we had to make some decisions, and we weren't
Canceled the
able to
flight.
go, so we had to cancel everything. So let her know that we're glad that everything's going well, and continued all the best. Sending positive thoughts and prayers always.
Always.
It just seems like everybody's doing amazing, and I'm so happy to hear that. And so I wasn't sure after the year that I had if I was going to do year number 8. I I was really battling. Is this what I'm really supposed to do? But I think the man upstairs says you're not listening, so I'm going to show you this is what you're supposed to do. I can't after that, after what happened on Saturday, I cannot not do this. I just can't. I have to do this.
Yeah, I tell you, sometimes, like for me, I'll sit there and, I keep trying so hard. It's like, God, just show me the way. Now what? What? And I get frustrated. Sometimes I got to remember, Manny, just shut up and take a step back and listen. You know what? What are you doing at the moment? Don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about right now. And, sometimes I was getting so ahead of myself. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of slow down. Things were getting a little bit overwhelming at times. And I got to enjoy this ride, this amazing family, and all the people that are in it. So,
Hey,
yeah.
Manny. Donald asked, "Did you have a Doug's burger?" Tell him you even got the shirt.
Man, I got
we
a
got
Dubs burger and I got chocolate pie. Or
Yeah, fried chocolate. Yeah.
what was it? The fried
Pie.
Fried-
Right.
fried chocolate pie.
Right.
First time. But man, I tell you what, the Dubs burger. I said it earlier. You didn't hear about it, but I got it. It was a handoff from Lori to me, from me to the back table. Sat down, bag open, burger gone, just like that. People were coming up, and I was just like. So thank you and everybody, man. It was
the love Manny got. OG got it too.
oh my God,
yeah.
heck yeah.
If you don't have OG, so
Yeah.
Yes, I tell you, and like I said at the very end there, just getting caught up, had to make sure, man, to give a big shout out for all of the help and support and keeping this crazy thing together. Like I said, she's the glue that holds this madness together, because I'm sitting here just saying yes, yes, yes to everything, and she's got to, you know, kind of reel me in, and that's about it. So,
And he's a big fish to reel in, let me
oh,
tell
it's
you.
just like, okay, Manny, just
But it's all worth it.
no more scheduling for Manny. But Lori, it was absolutely awesome. Now we gotta get ready for you in Detroit, and then start planning other
It's gonna
stuff.
take a week or so. I'm going to be going up to into the mountains for a couple of days. My friend wants me to come up there and do some study with him on some things that where he's trying to get understanding on. And so I told him today, sure, I'll come. Why not? And I love the mountains up in East Tennessee. That's a very tranquil place for me. And then, I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to look at my calendar because, you can go round trip to Detroit for like $128 right now. I'll go ahead and get me a ticket and just figure it out as we go. I mean, I just want to get there.
Oh, hey, yeah, I tell you what, there's
But I want to be like who I am. And I want to tell you before we sign off here that I love you, Manny. I love you so much. I love you, OG. I love you so much. Y'all, I've never known someone for such a short period of time that I bonded with the way I have y'all. And like, I hope that the Lord just blesses y'all socks off. I do. I My 5-hour war is known in every state, every city. I just see great things because of your heart. You and OG both, your hearts are just so pure and beautiful. And I wish very, very best. And if I can ever help in any small kind of way, just where to find me.
Well, tell you, and I feel the exact same about you. Like I said, that first time we met and started talking about, it's just was originally just to talk about you and your story. And after we talked a little bit, it was just that connection, just
Mhm.
like I said, just like you just said. And you had me at hello. And then the more you talked, the more real that conversation got, and it was like, that's it. So, it, like I said, it's an honor to be part of this family, and I love you to death. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, and I want everybody to know, that I am a nonprofit. I don't get paid to do what I do. I do it because it's my heart. And just because you may live in Michigan or New York or wherever, I'm connected with people, through the years, through the rallies and stuff that I might not have a resource here, but I can put you in touch with somebody in your area, that can help you. And we'll do everything we can, to make that happen. I have people all the time, hey, I'm in Texas or I'm in Louisiana, yeah, we'll find somebody, so always reach out. You just never know.
Yeah, and the thing is too, when it comes to that, some people think that it's a sign of weakness, man. That's a sign of strength. It takes a strong person to ask for help. It takes a strong person to, reach out. And so I love you,
I
Lori. And
Heidi, because Heidi, like, I want to make sure I got my
hi.
rest. Um, and she has been commenting on the videos, and she has been a supporter. And I really hope to meet her someday as well.
I
And I can tell she's got that heart like we do too.
She is amazing. Heidi has been here with My Fight Our War since day one. Since day one, January 9th, 2023, Heidi has been through thick and thin, not only with us and our family, but with herself and her own issues, with medical issues as well. And she's never, ever backed off with love and support for everyone else. She's always been there. And she's, just an amazing, incredible person. She's always, making sure everyone else is okay and checking in on people. So yeah, Heidi is definitely an amazing person. It'd be great for all. We're still working on trying to get something together. and it will happen.
Yeah, we just
It will happen.
keep it in your thoughts. Thoughts become things.
But
Well,
other than that,
for having me on to just recap the weekend, and I would do it over and over and over again. I really would. And so I can't wait to talk to you again, Manny. You never answer your phone, but it's okay.
He
You
no, he
know,
doesn't. He
Oh,
doesn't. He doesn't for his mother. He doesn't for me.
man, oh
He's bad about answering the phone. But
he said, give everybody my number. I'm available anytime.
no.
You
well, he will get back with you.
I get back.
He
It
does
just
get
takes
back.
a while, but I do get back with everybody. It
Yeah.
just takes a while, which is a good thing. I
Yeah.
never thought that this would ever be a problem. I never thought I'd have a problem returning calls, but all of a sudden going from, who's Manny Vitale? What's My Fight Our War? To now, it's like, let's go, game on. But I will definitely get back with everybody. It may take a little bit, but I will get back with you.
He does.
And
He does. He's good for that.
And again, man, thank you so much, Lori, for being you. Thank you for Athens, Alabama.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
it's been an honor and a privilege. And tell everyone that we said hi and we love them. And we will talk to you very, very soon.
All
It
right.
sounds good. I love y'all.
I love you.
you.
We'll talk to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Now.
Bye, darling.
That was awesome. I mean, just
Instead of an action-packed, I want to say it was an energy-packed weekend.
I mean,
good energy.
It really was just it's just so much to say about Lori. She's incredible. And it's
Well, one of the things that she started to say that you saw me kind of like, because she's saying how she does this and she wants to show things, and one of my sayings that I love is that I'd rather see a prayer than hear one. I want to see the action. You can say words all day long, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, and
she's
Lori.
a doer.
That's Lori all day long, man.
Absolutely.
She
I'm just worried. I want her to sleep. I want her to like, please get some rest.
Yeah, she is just an incredible person, and all the people there that to have such a bond in such a short time. And that's one thing about everyone I met there Friday and said, like I told her about Friday, the way that started and carried over to Saturday.
That was really good. That was well done.
A great idea.
Well done because we were strangers coming in, even though people had seen you. And actually a couple of people came up. Oh, I know you. I've seen you on the video. But it's still, we're new. We're new in town. This is her family. Here we are, a couple of outsiders.
Well,
but you didn't feel like an outsider. Man. See, that's the whole thing. Everybody was so kind.
So that was just a bit of a recap from the Eviction rally. Thank you, everyone who chimed in, and really appreciate it. And we will be giving updates on not only the rally, but things that happened at the rally in the next few
and upcoming new events.
And new events coming up as well.
Yeah.
But just wanted to say hi. And we usually would do on Mondays is when we're starting with myself and Thomas doing My Brother's Keeper. But like I said, besides this weekend events that all happened just getting back from Alabama, there were some family issues that I'm dealing with as well. That had to be taken care of, so we had to postpone My Brother's Keeper for those reasons. But it's all right. It's just a little bump in the road, and My Brother's Keeper will be back, and we'll be tearing it up, and I'll give you some more information on as it goes. We have a lot of people who are part of doing this. So a huge shout out to Tim Snyder over at Talking Trash for your help and what you're doing.
Tim's amazing.
God bless you, Tim. I love you, brother. And everyone else, Kaisa, Will, Jim, and everyone else. And also I want to give a shout out to my brother, AJ Galante.
Yes.
We have an event going on this coming Saturday at Soaring Eagle Casino. War on Ice or Fire on Ice. It's
Bare Knuckle Ice Wars.
Bare Knuckle Ice Wars. It's going to be at the Soaring Eagle Casino, and
which is in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, for those who know.
It's in Michigan, in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And it is an event where it's old school hockey, man. Back in the day when I played, we would drop the gloves and go at it. And what they're going to do is you're in full gear and you are dropping the gloves and you are going at it
On an ice rink.
on a rink, man.
In
It
hockey
is
gear.
in
Yeah.
gear. It
Uh-huh.
is makes guys like me smile. That's how I grew up playing, and back in the day. So we are going to be part of that this coming Saturday with AJ Galante and Mount Pleasant, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. Danny Gibson, it was great seeing you and Katie. Give Katie our best, and it's always great seeing you, Danny. Love you, brother. Paul Martinez, great seeing you in here as always. Thank you for your
Yeah.
kind words. Donald Blow,
Well,
Ed, you are
Donald is
so
Donald.
right. What a kind hearted woman. I tell you, there's a lot of things that happened with Lori, um, behind the scenes that, it's that I know about that we discussed, myself and Lori.
Mhm.
And just if you guys only knew the sucker punches that she took and made her stronger than ever.
Mhm.
And like I said, just an honor to be part of this amazing family. And other than that, thank you guys for joining in. This was, again, as usual, not planned at all. It was last minute. Hey, Lori, you want to go on live? And
She said yes.
and then again, to all the other people, Pastor TJ Boyd, and just the numerous others that I don't, there were so many, and the names, as you guys know, when I first started doing this, it was great because I'd rattle off sponsors and names and hosts of shows because there's just a few that I was either associated with as being a guest on or having them on our show. Now it's an honor to say that that list has not only doubled but tripled and then some. So it is an honor to be able to say that. Uh, so if I don't say your name, it is not meant in any disrespect in any way. You know who you are, and it's an honor to be part of your family as well. So you guys have a great night, and we will be chit chatting soon. We are good. There are going to be some changes going on with different shows and scheduling. There's with Music and Mayhem. We will update you with that shortly.
And Monday, we have Phyllis Klaber coming on. One
This
of our
Monday.
sisters
Who is
from
there?
Athens, Alabama.
So this
But she's
Monday,
also a family member, been a family member. So
Phyllis is amazing.
yes.
And looking forward to that. And this, let's see, what is. Trying to find a schedule or our calendar here. The next time, as of now, that looks like we're going to be doing a Music and Mayhem as of now, because of the schedule, tentatively is going to be the 18th, which is a week from this Wednesday.
Mhm.
And again, like I said, we will give updates on that because, like I said, there's going to be some changes in scheduling going on, and we'll get that all out there too.
But Manny goes live, 2, 3, 5 times a day.
Yeah,
So you'll see him.
so,
It's not like you're going to miss him.
We'll be putting that together because there is a lot going on with me and other individuals as well, behind the scenes with other projects that I really can't talk about right now until they're in the
More solidified.
yeah. So I mean, there's
How's that
just a
for a good
lot
word?
going on, and I really don't want to give half information. So the next time, Music and Mayhem, as of right now, will be a week from Wednesday on June 18th. So until then, again, Danny, Paul, everybody, man, love you guys. Appreciate your support, and we will be talking to you soon. So until then, man, love you. Keep fighting a good fight.
Bye now.